realized that last week we didn't even cover much Bitcoin, so we're going to try and get you some Bitcoin news for this week. I know right now the Bitcoin price isn't super exciting, but it is holding 100K, so that's always good news. But there's a lot of good news that keeps coming out here. So we're always talking about mass adoption, but now Jack Dorsey's company is putting BTC payments in the hands of millions of small businesses. With massive fee incentives. So, have you heard about this one?
Yeah, and in fact, I met him like a few years back when I was in Twitter, as part of the joining of the company or the onboarding process for directors. Basically, he wanted to meet people, so the guy is very chill though, and he likes Bitcoin. Even
Yeah.
if you remember, like, maybe a couple months back, they were saying that he is the real Satoshi.
That's right. They were saying he's a real Satoshi.
So I think that he's bullish on Bitcoin. So and I'm happy to see that he basically and his company integrating this zero fee uh, payment transactions through Square. So
Yeah.
I have not been in lately in a place that they have a Square, but I think that maybe tomorrow or a couple days I'll be with my barber. He has a Square, so I can ask him, hey, let me take a look to see if maybe I can pay in Bitcoin instead of cash.
Hey, that might be cool to take some screenshots. Well, you know what? I don't want to claim that this was my idea, but Jack Dorsey did try to sue us because we came out with a product called Square Crypto. This was before Square had any kind of crypto products out there, even talked about it. Now, of course, if Jack really is Satoshi, then okay, I didn't probably give him the idea. But if he's not Satoshi, then there's a chance I gave him the idea because he did send me that lawsuit saying you better not use that as your product name or we're going to sue you. So Jack, it's a freebie. I take commissions if you want. I'll give you my Bitcoin address.
Dude, I mean, that name, I cannot blame the guy. I mean, come on, guys.
Square Crypto.
This
You
is like
know what happened?
it's like I'm not gonna call it McDonald's. I'm gonna call it McDonald's Crypto here.
It didn't take long to get that letter from his lawyers. I'll tell you that much.
It's
So
maybe I am curious how they are able to detect it very quickly, right? Maybe they have a service.
they probably have a
Uh,
search service that just constantly checking for stuff for sure.
the good news is that in US, for courtesy, they send you a cease and desist letter, right? So,
Yeah.
so Ramirez has a collection of those.
That's a special one because it's from Satoshi.
do you have
I should find that.
do you have a frame?
I should. I need to. Well, anyways, for you guys, yeah, I mean, I think it's great news what Jack is doing here. Like Mondo said, he's a big Bitcoin bull, and he's doing a lot of merchants like a big favor here. He's saying, hey, if you use Square, nah, I'm calling it Square Crypto. If you use Block, if you use Block and pay with Bitcoin, we're not going to charge you the merchant fees, right? Right now, Visa, Mastercard, whatever, they charge you your 2-3%, whatever it is, for your merchant fees. Jack's going to give that for free. It's not a bad
Yeah,
deal.
not at all. And there is they already have 4 million merchants here in US, and no fees until 2027. So awesome. I mean, I feel that these are the type of things that propel technology. They could always make cash in the middle, right? But they're investing several years to the product, so in that way there is some adoption. I was thinking when I saw this, it's like we. I don't think that we are ready yet for this. Maybe only few transactions will go through, and I think that because maybe right now I'm in the camp of Saylor, Michael Saylor, where he's saying, "Hey, Bitcoin is not going to be like your fiat. It's more about your storage, your savings account."
Mm-hmm.
But the more that I think is that maybe because we have not reached the mass adoption, that in some point it will be ubiquitous. I like that word, ubiquitous.
Ubiquitous. It's a lot of syllables there. You, I
Indeed.
think you are indubitably. I think you're onto something there. right now, I think, I mean, even from like a year ago, Bitcoin was in 60 something. Now it went up to 120 something. So it nearly doubled. So like I was mentioning earlier, like for a person that if they were to spend their Bitcoin to buy a TV, well, that TV just got twice as expensive, right? A year later. So that's like I think one of the obstacles, right? Bitcoin should probably level out at some point, or we start denominating everything in Satoshis. Maybe that's another thing that would kick it off. But I think until then, yeah, you're right. It'll probably be more of a savings tool versus like an everyday spending tool. However, this is going to be a good way for merchants to be able to grow their stacks, right? There's still a lot of people that are cool with spending their Bitcoin, just like buying whatever they need throughout the week. This is going to make sure merchants don't have to pay any fees on that, so they'll be able to do that with zero transaction fees. So merchants can maybe start stacking by offering services or products and things like that for Bitcoin.
Yeah, for sure. The other thing interesting about this is that they're using the Lightning Network, which is faster than the actual network of Bitcoin. Because for the people that they have transacted and they use it, sometimes it takes several minutes. I'm talking about 20, 30 minutes to post the payment because in the network somebody has to verify and the pool, blah, blah, blah.
Mhm.
So with this, it's almost instantaneously. That's the reason why they are calling it Lightning Network, which it kind of showcases that the community is still developing on the rails and literally on the infrastructure for Bitcoin. And it's funny because it's almost what from 2009 it's almost gonna be 20 years, and still we're still like building this. So it takes time to rebuild all of the economy, I guess. Huh?
Yeah, that's right. I mean, one of the biggest things about Bitcoin that a lot of people like about it is that it hasn't been hacked. So you don't want to introduce bugs into the system just because it is so strong and robust. So you have to be very careful with any changes that you make with it. So using something like Lightning's been around for a while already, but it's also going to take some time for it to get adoption and really make sure that it's safe to use. So I think for the most part, we've seen pretty good performance from it. It is really fast. It is very cheap to use. It's how a lot of these extra like features can be built on top of Bitcoin.
And for maybe the people that they don't know, they changed like Jack Dorsey changed the name of his holding company to Block Inc. And it used to be a Square something. Uh, and I feel that they changed it because it had to do also with some crypto for blockchain and things like that, different technologies. So, which in my mind is quite interesting. The other thing that they also own is the Cash App. Maybe some people, if they are not merchants, they also are aware that they have used Cash App, and that there's a bunch of features there where you can discover uh, I guess in a live map who is receiving, who are those merchants that they are receiving. So if I will have a brick and mortar, I probably will start just using it because maybe that will get you free advertising in a way, right? It's because you're gonna get highlighted. It's like, hey, these people are receiving. So if you have a brick and mortar, try to accept Bitcoin because once again, it's free advertising for now.
That's true. Free advertising and potentially low fees,
No
and
fees in
gives you
this case.
opportunity. Yeah, and opportunity to build your stack if it's something that you're interested in doing. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's good news here coming out of Block from supposed or allegedly Satoshi or AKA Jack Dorsey. It'll
Dude,
be it's going to push crypto ahead, a lot of adoption, a lot more quickly that way.
I don't know how some people, executives or some of these entrepreneurs, the richer they become, the more hippish they become. So look at him on pictures. Like he used to have a suit and all of that, right? In 2007 on that, and then he started getting more cool, and like, oh man, he just went hippie all the way. Like almost no shoes and like so. But because in some point he had even a beanie, like the beard and all of that. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, he turned out to be super super hippie.